Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, I bow to the Lord Vasudeva. Joy to you, friends. In the second chapter, stanza 11, the Blessed Lord said, with words of love and seeming wisdom, you have been grieving over those who deserve no lamentation. The wise mourn neither for those who live on earth, nor for those who leave it. This is a very interesting thing because we think, the mind is such a tricky thing, we think that we're speaking truth. We think we're talking wisdom when we think that we should not fight our bad tendencies. We think, well, after all, it isn't right not to do harm, and these are qualities. We don't want to harm them. You're not harming them. You have to understand that wisdom sometimes is ruthless. You have to take up the sword of discrimination and slay the demon of delusion. And this process of slaying, is the spiritual path. You have to get rid of everything in yourself. But the thing is that it's not you that you're slaying. It's your energies. And this is what Krishna makes clear later on as we go into this chapter, that you're not really killing them. This is true even in worldly war. If you have the duty to defend your country from invasion, and war is right in that case, then I don't say aggressive war is right. I don't say that some of the wars that we have fought in the last century were right. But if you're fighting to defend truth and defend your own country, this is right. But the thing is that we must understand that those qualities must be slain. And in slaying them, you don't slay anything. You just slay that energy. You redirect it, as I said last time. In other words, even in battle, when you kill somebody in battle, you don't really kill him. Do you know how old you are? You are as old as God. You're coexistent with him. He sent you out into this world for a series of a few incarnations, like a few billion incarnations. But sooner or later, you've got to go back to him. You're wandering in this delusion, which he has made tempting. It's a good show, but it's very attractive. But sooner or later, you begin to see that every gain reaches disappointment. Every plus is canceled out by a minus. You realize that you've got to fight this, but then you have to get rid of those things in yourself. And when you grow into God, you come out of that. You don't have to be born again. But as long as you are still wandering in delusion, the death of the body doesn't mean anything. You just go into another world, and if you've lived a happy life, it'll be a good world. And if you have not lived a happy life, you'll have a few nightmares. But sooner or later, you'll have to come back to this world, because as long as there's the least little desire in your heart, you have to satisfy it. One time I said to my guru, even the desire for an ice cream cone? I thought, of course he'd say, no, not that. He said, oh, yes. I was kind of frightened when he said that. Every desire, but you know, most of those desires, once you've completely, as I one time asked him to help me overcome desire for good food, he said, don't worry about those little things. When ecstasy comes, everything goes. So those desires are fulfilled in the joy of God's presence. But anyway, when you do kill people, this Gita is true on all levels. When people are killed, they don't die. What is bad for you is if you desired to kill. If you kill in a just cause, if you have to kill, then don't feel badly about it, because God will take care of you. When the North Vietnamese invaded South Korea, North Koreans, invaded South Korea, Yogananda said, I put the thought in Truman's mind to protect South Korea. And he sent soldiers over, and we won that war almost by the skin of our teeth. But he said that the satanic power in this century, the last century, was communism. It's still there. This atheistic religion that teaches that only materialism is true. It has substituted matter for God as its religion. It says religion is the opiate of the people, but it itself is a kind of religion. And he said that if that had come into South Korea, it would have taken Japan, it would have come up into the Aleutian Islands, it would have come down into this country. In this age, communism must be fought. It is an evil because it teaches people all those qualities that take them away from our higher divine nature. And so it's not evil sociologically only, evil spiritually much more so. But the thing is that there was somebody who was saying, but don't they get bad karma fighting against the communists there in Korea? And Master said, no bad karma. If you act in the right way, you have to have the right attitude too. Otherwise, there will be some bad karma from your attitude. But in the act itself, there is no bad karma in slaying evil in this world. Remember that as a comfort in times to come when there will be world war again. Don't think that we're out of it. Anyway, the point is that when we have overcome these qualities in ourselves, they too don't die. Your selfishness is transmuted and becomes unselfishness. It becomes the thoughts that you wanted this for yourself, now you want it for everybody. And all those qualities, they will be transmuted in ecstasy and in divine vision. So, nor are we in this world for the first time, I, you, these royal ones, whose possible death you lament. None of these has not lived here before, nor shall any of them ever cease to be. Remember, death, dance of death and dance of life, these come from God, and as such rejoice in all of it. Death and life are just two sides of the same coin. Don't feel depressed. Rather live your life in such a way that others weep when you go, but you feel joy. Live in such a way that you help other people. Live in such a way as to bring joy to other people. And when you leave this world, you will go either into God or into a higher astral sphere where you mix with the angels. And how long you remain there or how short, that is another matter. But more and more tastes of that realm will make you decide in your own subconscious, I want that, I don't want this world. From a child, I've always felt that world was more real than this world. It is the higher world of your own present state of consciousness. You're an exile in this world. When you go back, you're going home. Joy to you.